Are you struggling to stay on top of your tasks and deadlines? Join the club. I've been struggling to write my books. In fact, I've stopped writing altogether. I had a lot of the familiar excuses. I had too many other things to do, I felt tired a lot, and I just found it really hard to focus. Even worse, I felt a little depressed because I wasn't getting my life's work done. It was time to change this. And so I've decided to do a Pomodoro challenge for the next 30 days. The Pomodoro Technique is all about this. In the late 1980s, Italian Francisco Cirillo was looking for ways to be more productive. One day he pulled out a kitchen timer that just happened to be in the shape of a tomato. He set it for 25 minutes and started working. When the timer rang, he set it for 5 minutes so he could take a short break. He then repeated the cycle 4 times over 2 hours, and this became the Pomodoro method. For my challenge, my goal is to write for 2 hours every day for 30 days. And that means I'm adding 2 hours of writing on top of everything else that I'm doing. I'm excited, let's go! My first day was good, I got it done. But it wasn't pretty. I didn't realise how unfit I was to be able to work so focused for 2 hours. By the third and fourth session, I was starting to flag a little bit, and I caught myself looking at the timer every couple of minutes. And I kept thinking about all those other things I could have been doing, like getting coffee, running to the toilet, watching the news, checking LinkedIn, checking my stats on YouTube. But I did it. That's a tick. Big win, first day, done. I'm pretty pleased with myself. I'm writing for the first time in a while, and that feels good. Plus, I'm starting to focus better. I find I'm getting through the 25 minutes of the Pomodoro session without looking at my phone all the time. And sometimes the timer goes off and it surprises me. It's like you're working away and whoop, what's that? It's the timer going off and I've reached the end of my session. So that's a sign of progress, and that happened much quicker than I thought it would. The whole point of the Pomodoro technique is that you focus on one thing for 25 minutes. As soon as you set your timer for that task, you keep going until the timer rings. For me, that means writing and nothing else. No coffee breaks, no toilet breaks, no answering the phone. And that's been tricky because sometimes the phone rings while I'm working and I can see it's a client and I want to answer it. And I do feel a little guilty that I don't answer it, but I do know it goes through to message bank, so I can always ring them back. And I figure if that's what it's going to take to get my writing done, then so be it. I don't really want to write today. I've woken up a bit tired and sore throat, and I guess it's self-inflicted. I've been staying up watching the Tour de France, and I love the cycling, but it just makes it hard to do the Pomodoro sessions, which are sometimes a bit tough in themselves, but when you're tired, that doesn't help. But I said I would, so the big challenge I've faced is jamming in 2 hours of writing on top of everything else that I'm doing. My decision to do it as the first activity of my day is the masterstroke. Once I put that in play, then almost everything falls into play in behind it. And behind it is the right word. I get my important stuff done first, and then I have less time for other stuff, which usually means the fiddly, fluffy things like watching YouTube videos get squeezed out, and I do less of that. So that's a real win. I'm really enjoying these noise cancelling headphones. I originally bought them to help with my video editing, but now I'm using them all the time. They really help with cutting out a lot of those background noise distractions like the lawnmowers and the trucks and the barking dogs. I feel like I'm getting momentum now. I'm starting to feel focused and my energy levels have risen, and that's starting to flow into the rest of my life, which is fantastic. So I feel like I'm winning. Today I had to change my schedule. I had something on first thing in the morning. and I was tempted to skip the Pomodoro session, but given I was doing this series of videos, I knew I couldn't lie. So I did it. I did it in the afternoon, and there was a few more distractions than I would have liked, but it got done. I'm really feeling the benefit of the 5-minute break for the Pomodoro technique. I think this is a big reason why it's so effective for me. Previously, I would have just sat here and one piece of work would have rolled into the next. Or I'd do some work and I think I'm having a break by watching YouTube or reading the news or doing something else. But from the brain point of view, that just comes across as more tasks. So I'm doing work tasks and then play tasks and not really having a break at all. But if I force myself to get up and out of my chair and get a coffee or do some exercise, it really does change my energy levels. One of the things that doesn't work so well for the Pomodoro method is that the timer will go off right in the middle of a train of thought. But I guess nothing's perfect. And what I've done in that situation, when I've got to the end of the session, the timer's gone off, I've pulled out a notepad and written down what was I thinking about, what was I writing about, so I can come back to it after the break. I did it. 30 days straight. The best way to describe how this Pomodoro challenge has impacted me is that I feel like I've gone from jogging to sprinting. Before, I was working like I was on holiday. I was taking my time, doing a bit of this and doing a bit of that, but not really getting my writing done. But when you're sprinting, you have to focus. And even over just 30 days, like even the first few weeks, I could notice that I was building up my mental fitness, my level, my ability to focus. The big question is, what did I get done during this time? I wrote for 30 days with 4 25-minute sessions each day. That's 3,000 minutes or 50 hours. During this time, I've written 8 video scripts, reworked them into 8 blog posts, written 1 10-page ebook, plus 6 newsletters and 8 LinkedIn posts. And on top of that, I recorded and edited 8 videos, plus I kept all my client work up to date. That's a mountain of work. I'm really happy with that. But here's the best part. My mood has changed. Previously, I was feeling flat and maybe even depressed because I wasn't getting my life's work done. Now I've proven to myself that I can, and each day I've made a small step, a little bit of progress towards fulfilling those goals. But the real progress is in here. It's about me feeling better about the work I'm doing and that I'm actually doing the work. The big surprise from all this was what happened during the breaks. Every day I wrote for 25 minutes, then I had a 5-minute break in between. In one of those breaks, I made a cup of coffee. But in the other 2 breaks, I did a 5-minute kettlebell routine. That's 60 seconds by 5 minutes on my kettlebells. Now I feel like Superman. My muscles are pumped and I feel really strong. I feel like I've gone to the gym in between my writing sessions. And I definitely didn't see that coming when I started this challenge. In this challenge, I only did the Pomodoro technique for my writing in the morning. That's 4 25-minute sessions. I'm definitely going to keep doing that. But I'm already starting to wonder how much I could get done if I also applied this in the afternoon, or I took my writing to 4 hours a day. That might be my next challenge. So the big question is, does the Pomodoro technique work? You bet it does. If you want to raise your game and get more done, then take on the Pomodoro challenge. Do 2 hours of Pomodoro sessions every day for 30 days and see what happens for you. Don't believe me, put it to the test. You might just get more done than you ever imagined. And I'd love to hear of your experience in getting things done. What works for you? And have you tried the Pomodoro technique? Add a comment down below. And if you want more productivity tips like this to help you get your life's work, then make sure you subscribe to this channel. Together we can conquer the world 1 Pomodoro session at a time. Yeah!